Hello everyone, welcome, welcome. This is chapter 5 of The Science of Getting Rich, Increasing Life. So exciting, you guys. This has just hit me like a ton of bricks because I actually had an amazing conversation with a friend of mine who we actually referred to this. So this was so awesome to listen to this chapter and hear Robert talk about it. And you can listen to you can watch him. You can also listen to read the PDF and also listen as well. So there's 3 different ways you can do this. And of course you can listen to me to explain to you how I perceive the chapter because I've perceived it a little differently, I believe. So, okay, what this chapter meant to me, Increasing Life, was so cool because I believe everything is growing. Constantly trees are growing. Constantly flowers are blooming. Constantly the planets are growing. I mean, constantly things are always growing. And like maybe he even mentioned, maybe the planets are just there, but we're growing in ways of looking at the planets. Things are always growing and evolving and growing and evolving. And what he had said, which was so cool, was, about the internet. I remember Earthlink. I remember when it was MySpace and now, of course, Facebook and Google and AOL and all of that. I still have AOL, but I remember all of that. And so it's evolved and evolved and evolved. This technology has evolved because people have created. Another thing was they didn't compete. They created. And so when we want abundance in our lives, when we want riches to be flowing in our lives, because we all do, we want riches to be flowing. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be selfish and you're just going to take it all and hog it all. That's not what this book says to do. You won't get it if you're thinking that way. You've got to also give, but you also get. And so it's together. And your mind, your body, your soul, everything has to be in alignment with each other. And so what happens is when we start growing, we start reading, we start, in changing our mindset and learning new things, and we take it in and then we go out and we share it, just like I'm sharing with you right now, then what happens is you're bringing value to people and you're doing something in a creative way. Once you do things in a creative way, not a competitive way, I don't know how anybody else did this. I saw Robert, but I'm not competing against him. I'm truly telling you what I feel. When you don't do things in a competitive way, that's when things will start happening. So when you start seeing a house, you're like, oh, I want that house, and you're in a competitive zone, you're not going to get that house. But if you just know it's out there and you're going to get it, or that money is coming to you, it's there, but you don't see it, but it is there. When you start thinking in that way, that's when doors will open up and things will happen. And I've seen this in a Christian perspective. I've seen doors open up left and right out of the blue that I was like, what? And some doors opened up that were like, Amy, teaching me things, right? To help me to learn, to grow, and then I'm able to share it. And so one thing is I sing. I'm a singer. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a singer. And in singing, I have a different kind of voice. It's a unique voice in the way that I sing, but it's not a pop voice. It's not a contemporary voice, nothing like that. And so I've always tried to change my voice. And I'm like, no, I need to be something else. Why was I taught this way? Why am I this way? Da, da, da. Although singing is super easy to me, although I can sing up and down the keys, although I love singing, although my breath is fantastic, although all this stuff is there, but I was always told I needed to change myself and to change and to change. And so what ended up happening, and I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a vocal coach. I've done vocal coaching and piano coaching. And so when I was told this over and over, you know what, no, you need to change this, you need to change this, you need to change this, I started doubting myself, like my unique ability. Although I've helped people become, go into theater, and I've helped people have managers, and I've helped my kids and all this. And I'm like, there was something not right. I was just like, but wait a minute. And I lost who I was, because then all of a sudden it became about competing with other people rather than just making myself gooder and better and better and better and better. And so I realized I have a unique ability. My uniqueness needs to shine through, and I need to do that in a creative way. I'm not comparing my voice to anybody else. I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. Everybody has their gift, and I want everybody to shine. But you know what? I'm unique too. And so once I really put that into perspective, it was like, wow. Another thing is with this acting world, I don't know if you know, but my kids are actors. And the thing is with acting is the same way. People expect, it's a lot of competition. And I've always told my kids it's not competition. What it is you guys, that you be yourself, unique. And if they're looking for you, they're looking for you. There's no competition, because there's somebody that's going to do something acting differently, unless somebody tries to tell them do it all the same. But there's going to be people that do it differently and people that do it differently. And if you're trying to compete, that's not going to happen. Like apples to oranges, it can't compete, right? There's no competition. So that's the same thing. And if we're not competing, then we're growing. We have abundance flowing. We have all of that stuff coming for us. And it's amazing how our life can be fulfilled and can be changed, and how things just start coming, because what we're thinking about, we bring about. Remember, what we think about in our space, we bring about. It's the same way here. And so when I thought this, I was like, wow, there's so many opportunities in life. And once we hit one opportunity, our mind goes, okay, here's another one. Okay, there's another one. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going, you know what, I'm going to try this thing. You know what, I'm going to do this thing. You know what, I'm going to do this thing. Because you are creating different opportunities and being creative in how you're doing it. Does that make sense? But once we start cutting people down and being like backstabby and all this stuff, and my niece was a Miss America, and so I'm not saying this by any means about that, but I've heard from other people, not from her, like everything was fantastic. But, you know, this was I guess, the way that people perceived the pageants or perceived different contests, you know, that they're cutting it down and cutting the dress and da-da-da-da. All this stuff happens, right? Well, that is kind of the whole thing. Do you think that girl's going to win? Do you think she's going to really win out of and be happy and fulfilled? No. No, 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 no. And so that's when you start taking it all for yourself, and you don't want anybody else to be happy. You don't want anybody else to flourish. And so when you start doing that, you're not going to create the abundance that you have wanted. You're not going to create the life that you wanted, because you're playing in scarcity mode. You're not playing in, I've got this mode of I'm going to, you know, the mode of, you're playing small. And instead of playing small, you need to play big. You need to play big and not being scared. It's not the scared mode. So it's about, not about competition, but about working together. That's what it's about, and increasing life and creativity. And so God gives us a mind, a body, a soul to be creative, to grow, constantly to grow. And it's hard sometimes. I think it's hard sometimes to grow. We're like, well, you know what? They already know better, so forget it. There's the competition mode. But the way that I'm telling you this, their story is not going to be like my story. So it's okay. So I want you to think of creativity in ways of growing yourself and starting to become the person that you want to become. Because when you become, then you do more, and then you give more, and all of that. It's really awesome. And I don't know if you listened to Robert's final thing that he said, which was so awesome to me. He said something about Mother Teresa, and I've met Mother Teresa. She is an amazing woman, and I met her. And the thing was, she talked about, somebody asked her, hey, you know, were you ever in a rally, basically? And she's like, I don't do that, because if I was in a rally, what would happen is I would it's negative, and everybody's going to be in this rally, and it's like it becomes more and more because it grows. When you think of the negative in things that happen in life, right? It grows and it grows and grows and grows in negative. But if you think of a peace rally, it grows in peace and peace and peace and peace. Or a prayer rally, it's going to grow in prayer and prayer and prayer and prayer. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. And so you have to look at it that way, as abundance. And know without a shadow of a doubt that you are unique. You have something special. There's only one you, and you are a miracle. There's no doubt. And when you really think of yourself in that way, nothing can stop you. Nothing. Nobody can stop you. I don't care if somebody's at the top of the top of the top of the top of your company, or if there's a billionaire. Nothing can stop you, because you can get there, because you have a way of doing it, your own creative way. Does that make sense? So if you really create, you will have that abundance that you have desired, that you've wanted, that you've been striving for. And that's what God's going to give you, because you're using what he gave you to create rather than to compete. So this was so eye-opening. And like I said, because of the voice analogy and everything too, I think, you know, there are times when we do get cut down because we think that we aren't good enough. We can't do it. Just me, little old me. Like when I'm doing this, I'm like, little old me, like, why would you listen to little old me? That's how I start thinking. It's like, no, I've got something unique about me. I've got something to share. I've got something hopefully of value to give to you. I have something that I am wanting to pour my heart and my soul out to give to you. And so once you start thinking of how unique you are as an individual and not comparatitis is the thief of all joy. Once you don't do that, that's when abundance will open up to you and the doors will open up and creativity will flow. Another thing is if you compare, creativity totally stops. Totally stops. So when you start comparing yourself and you're just like, oh, I wish I was like that person or like that person or that person, you're going to stop yourself and you will not be creative. You won't be doing anything. If I was thinking right now how other people are doing this or if they're doing this or whatever, I would stop my creativity or my focus or talking to you. But I'm not thinking about how other people are saying it. I'm thinking about what impacted my life from what other people have said. I'm figuring out what the book meant to me. I'm figuring out how this has worked in my life, how I have taken this concept and I really went home with it. So there's the two concepts of what you think about, you bring about, and don't let competition happen. Just creativity, creativity, creativity. Think like that, you're going to get what you want. And I'm so excited to see you do that. I'm so excited to see you, a unique person, you fulfilling your dreams. My whole goal is to help you to fulfill your dreams. That's why I called my page Dream Big with This Hollywood Mom, because I want everybody to dream big. That there's no competition when you're dreaming big because it's your dream. It's not my dream. It's your dream. And even if other people have the same dream, you don't even know if they have the same dream. You just focus on your dream, what you want in life, and you follow your heart and you become creative in who you are. And you know what God's gifts He's instilled in you. For me, it's voice. For other people, I have a friend who does soaps and all kinds of, shampoos and things like that and does it actually in her kitchen. Like, that is their gift. That's fine. Like, that's their gift. That's their unique quality. But if I was a soap person, I'm not going to compare and go, well, my soap is how's her soap and my soap. And no. And I've done that so much before that, like I said, that's why it resonated with vocal stuff. When I auditioned for American Idol, I was with a group of people. I made it straight to the second round. And I was with a group of people. And there were some people that were singing not the greatest. And there were other people that were singing really, really well. And I remember just going, oh my gosh, what do I sound like? Do I sound like them? Or do I sound like them? Or do I sound like them? They were looking for that voice, not for my voice. My voice is not good enough. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? La, 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 la. All this stuff in my head. When I got to the audition, do you think I was myself? Nope. No, I wasn't myself. I had my little girl in tow. She was like in the corner of my arm and I was singing to her. I kind of like blocked everybody out. I was just like, I don't even know what I'm singing. And I was trying to be kind of like them. And I remember they told me to sing Fame. They're like, here, sing Fame. And I'm like, Fame? Like, I didn't even really know it. We just learned it that day. So I'm singing Fame and I'm like, I'm going to try it. And I sang it. And it was like, I tried to make it this poppy thingy. I don't even know what I did. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course that was a clip on TV, but like, it was just like, oh my gosh, I totally wanted to be somebody I wasn't. And I'm like, that's not me. And so when they were videotaping me afterwards, like, so how do you feel? How do you feel? And I'm like, I feel fine. The reason I feel fine is because I'm going to keep being me and I'm going to keep singing. I'm going to keep singing. And so, but even as adults, you guys, it's hard because people get in your head and they start telling you this is the way you need to be and you start comparing and comparing and comparing and then you lose yourself because you feel like you cannot do something they're doing. This happens a lot in MLM, I think, because in MLM, what can happen is you've got these uplines that are really, really amazing and they're doing incredible. And you're like, I'm never going to be them. Why am I even going to try for a contest? Or why am I even going to do this? Or I could never talk like they talk. So why am I going to try anything? And you start like comparing yourself to them. What does that do for your business? It stalls you, it stops your creativity, and you don't move forward. And those people that you were supposed to help, whether it be for financial freedom, whether it be for physical freedom, or whatever it may be that you're doing, whatever you're doing is stopped. You've stopped that creative process. You stopped what God had in store for you to help. Those people that were supposed to come to you, those people that you were supposed to talk to, but you were too darn scared because you were already comparing yourself to other people that you said, I'm not going to get to the Millionaire Club, so why am I even going to try? Is this ringing true? It's true. And this is human nature. It's human nature. But if we do what the Science of Getting Rich says, your life will be a lot more peaceful. a lot more peaceful, because we grow and we dream and we grow and we dream and we learn and we learn and we learn and we tell people and we learn and we tell people. And when you start doing that, you start living by these principles, your life will be so much better, so much more relaxed, so much more relaxed. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. So the lady that I had the conversation with today was just an amazing friend that called me out of the blue. And it was an incredible conversation that really resonated with me about this whole topic, because we were talking about how, like I said, with my singing, you know, that there's so many comparing and all of that. And it's like, the people can switch you in a heartbeat to not feel confident in who God made you to be. I want you to know He made you for you. You don't need to feel not confident, because you have a gift. You are a miracle, and it is you. Make sure you're listening to that God memorandum. You're reading it and listening to it every single day for at least 100 days if you can, 30 days at minimum, because this will change you, because you'll feel like, you know what? I do have this, and I know that God doesn't create junk. He's created my skin. He's created my heart. He's created my mind. He's created everything for me. And once you really know what He's created, wow, you guys, it's huge. It's huge, because there's nothing there that He created out of an accident. Nothing. He didn't create my voice out of an accident. He didn't. He put me through maybe the time of I couldn't sing very well, couldn't sing. I found a great vocal coach, and then boom, it hit. And I was like, oh my gosh, my voice opened up, and it was so exciting. But I know He did that because the reason, this is why, He was humbling me. He was getting me ready for that point. But I was always creating. I was always growing. I was always growing. I was always growing. Does that make sense? So make sure that you don't let anybody get into your head. And that's where mindset is so key and so important, because it can happen so fast and take you out of your game just like that. For anything, when it comes to business, when it comes to any talent you may have, when you're at a talent pool or whatever, and you've got all the same talent, and you're like, okay, that's scary. It's scary, but that's when you got to know God gave you your gift. And if they like it, it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. But if you're creative and you're giving from your heart, and you're giving value, and you're giving service, and you're giving love to people, there's nothing nobody can take away from you. There isn't. And people have their own opinion. And what you'll notice too, once you're creative and you're dreaming and you've got all this going on, you're going to notice that the negative people are going to start faltering away, because you're changing inside. You're becoming somebody that is finally becoming and bettering themselves. And the other people that are not growing are going to start falling away, because they're not going to see that positiveness with that negativeness is going to collide a little bit. Doesn't mean you can't love them, doesn't mean you can't support them, doesn't mean that you can't tell them or help them or share with them information. If they're going to take it in, that's up to them. But remember, if we live by the science of getting rich principles, you will become rich in every aspect of your life, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, every way possible. This is huge, you guys. I'm so grateful that this book has been written. I'm so grateful for Robert, my mentor, for sharing it. My other mentor, Melody Ryba. I'm truly grateful, because this is changing my life slowly but surely. It is like happening, and it's step by step. It's baby steps. It takes baby steps. When I first listened to it, I'm like, okay, gotta get it in. And when it finally clicks is when there's something in my life that resonates, and it's like, whoa, now I get it. So I hope that with this series, I'm giving you something that can resonate, and you can kind of relate to what I'm saying. And then you're like, you get it. So you can get it faster than I can. Like, I got it now, because that resonates with my life, Amy. I get it now. So, okay, I love you guys so much. I will see you in chapter 6, and we will talk again. So if you have any questions, post down below. I'm here for you. You can private message me. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Love you guys. Bye.